Tracy says, while most couples fight over money, she and Tim fight about sex. She wants it every day. Tim says Deb and Paul are also engaged to be married, but she's not satisfied with once a day. She says it should be 10 times a day. And Paul, well, Paul is tired. Now, Mark is engaged to Cheryl, who is backstage, and says that he admits his fiancée has a great body, but keeping up with her sexual demands is wearing him out.
Yeah.
What does she do when she comes home from work?
When she comes home from work, she'll strip down and just try to turn me on as best as she can. I get turned on, and she just goes real crazy. She just wants it right then and there.
Right. As soon as you walk in the door.
As soon as she walks in the door.
Let's meet Cheryl, and we'll find out why she's having so much trouble. Come on, Cheryl. This is how it is for you every day, isn't it? At
Jenny,
home. Huh?
if anyone here has seen the movie Forrest Gump, I now live with him.
Wait a minute. You're calling him Mr. Gump?
Well, he tries to act like he doesn't know what sex is all the time. And when we first met, before we got engaged, I used to turn him on. He still turns me on. And we used to have sex all the time, like 3 or 4 times a day. And as soon as we got engaged, he started treating me like his wife and the mother of his kids, and like he didn't want to have sex with me
What are you
anymore.
trying to do to turn him on? You do a lot of stuff.
Well, well, I buy a lot of sexy lingerie, and I dance
Do you have some
around.
with you? What do you have on your chair right behind you?
This is his favorite, I think.
Where? There it is. Is that? There it is. Now that turns you on, right, Mark?
Yes, it does.
It does. So what's the problem? She's a beautiful woman. She's wearing this sexy lingerie. What's the problem?
I think we have sex a lot more than we used to. Or, yeah, a lot more than
Can we
used
ask
to.
how often you're having it now?
About once every other day right now.
Okay.
But she wants it a lot more, but certain times we have
You
a
would
lot
like to do
more.
it every day.
Right.
She kind of teased you when she came out here. Does she dance for you like that at home?
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Yes, she does.
We actually have a videotape that you brought us of a.
Yes.
This is a homemade video of Cheryl dancing for her husband at home. Watch this. Does it work?
Jenny, you do what you gotta do.
You do what you gotta do. What kind? Are you hearing excuses? What kind of excuses are you getting?
Mark's most famous excuse is, honey, I got gas. Can you go get the rest?
Can't you just take something for it and just kind of
Well, his thing is like, this is the thing, he likes to tease me. We'll be walking around and I'll dress really nice, just like today, or something that I think he looks at as being very sexy. And I'll walk around and he'll go, oh, baby, I'm going to clean your clock tonight. And we are going to this and this and that. And as soon as I'm like thinking, you know, looking around saying, hey, babe, let's go to bed. You ready to go to sleep? You want to go to bed? And everybody's around looking. And as soon as we get in the room, he's like, I'm just tired. Can't this wait until the morning? I promise tomorrow in the morning or something. I got gas. I drank too much.
Did she say clean your clock? Clean your clock. Okay, I just never heard it that way. What's your question?
I was just wondering if maybe you thought if you played a little bit hard to get, that might turn them on instead of
reverse
How come
psychology.
it's that hard to get? We've had so much sex between the two of us before we got engaged. It used to be like every time he saw me, throw down, drag him out, fight to the end. And now it's just like I look at him and I'm like, hey babe, winking eyes and looking at him, trying to turn him on. And he's like, I don't even turn him on anymore.
But you said you'd like to be doing it 4 times a day. That's not really realistic.
Well,
I mean,
you
you
know,
really.
Jenny, I look at it this way. I'm 22, he's 22, he's in his prime, you know. He's supposed to be a real go-getter man, you know. He's young yet. He's not old.
Yes, sir, right here. What's your question?
I'd just like to know when you all do have sex, how is it? Are you enjoying it and everything?
That's why I want more. He's very well endowed. I'm not going to lie. He's very well endowed. He knows how to use what he has. It's just, can he use it more? can we do it more?
Okay,
Yeah?
thank you for that. What has been your most desperate move to try
My
to get
most
him more
desperate
interested?
move, well, we almost had an accident in
Yes,
the
we
car.
did.
Yeah, my head was caught in the steering wheel like this. And I kept trying to get it out, and I couldn't get it out.
Didn't you?
Get it going.
Can we even air that? Is it going to be okay? All right. You actually tried to. I think maybe you thought that you weren't enough for him, and you brought
Well,
somebody
I've
else
done
home.
that too. My whole thing, and I don't want to bring this up as a racial issue, but everybody here knows I'm black. But anyway, when I first met Mark, he had never been with another black woman before, and I started to feel bad because I thought that maybe it was me that didn't turn him on because I was black, and maybe he needed to be with a nice woman. So I kind of pried at him to find out what his type was, blonde hair, blue eyes, and so I went out and I kind of brought somebody home for him with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Where'd you find this woman?
Well, I went out to a club. Actually, she's a stripper. And I went out to a club, and what I told her was that she was going to, knew this really nice guy. She said she hadn't had sex in 6 months, whatever, because she broke up with her boyfriend.
Wait a
And I
minute.
said, I know this really good-looking guy. He's in the Air Force, and he's a firefighter. And I brought her back, and she was in my car getting all ready, and I was saying, holy cow, we're going to have fun tonight. So when we got there,
Wait a minute, I want to hear what did you think when she walks in with this woman and
I
says,
didn't
look
believe
what
her. I did
look
not
what
believe-
I brought you.
I didn't see what she brought me the first time. The second
is
time
first
I
time.
saw, second time the girl was laying on my bed, and I couldn't do
he
anything.
chases me down the hall, Jenny, and he's like, what do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, well,
he
you
doesn't
know what
want
you're supposed
anybody
to
else.
do.
He just
Right,
wants
I
you. The
don't.
guy's just tired. He's just tired.
She tried. She tried. It didn't work.
We'll take a break, and we know a lot more about you than we really thought we were going to know. But we'll take a break and come back and talk to Paul, who says his fiance's sex drive is so high they can barely get through a meal. We'll be right back. We're talking to couples with uneven sex drives. In this case, it's the woman who has the higher sex drive than the man. We've been talking to Cheryl and Mark. You're both 22. You're engaged to be married. You're doing it like every other day. And Cheryl, you'd like to do it 4 times a day, which, you know.
Well, I'm young yet, Jenny. He's supposed to be in his prime. What's going on?
What do you want to say?
Jenny, she's not young, just young. She is really outrageous. How in the world can you possibly say that this man's sex drive is not enough? You too much for any woman. Man, woman, anybody.
Cheryl,
Yeah.
I want to know, Cheryl, are you auditioning for for anything at this particular point in time?
If you're taking auditions, I'll do it. No, I'm
I
like,
tell you what, you are too beautiful a young woman
thank you.
to add to the stereotype of black women. I resent it.
What's
Extremely
that?
well. Because what you're doing
No,
is
don't take me
unreal.
wrong. I'm having fun up here, and I love black
Well, that's what
people.
I'm saying. If you
And
want
I
to
love
have, then say it
myself.
like that. You just are misrepresenting black women across America.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry. I'm
Yes,
really
what you wanna
sorry
say?
you feel that way. I have no problem with
Yes,
being
Steph.
black. I know I'm black, and I love black people.
What? No, okay, hang on.
No, I don't agree with what she's saying. I'm 31, and me and my husband, he likes it real early in the morning, 2 or 3 times, and I like it 3 or 4 times, like at midnight and after.
Yeah, that's me.
And I don't think it has anything to do
Like
with
it late at
age
night.
or your color or anything else.
Yeah.
It's your desire.
Do you
And
think
if you
she's
have the
expecting?
desire-
Do you think she's expecting a little bit more than is real?
Every other day once.
That's what they're
do.
doing.
That's
what they're
how
doing.
much
Well, I'd
now.
expect more personally, yes. And I think she has the right. Yeah.
she
No,
wants
on
it 4
occasion
times a
it's a
day.
lot. It's like 3,
4
4
times a
times
day.
she wants it in one day. It's a lot.
How many times?
3, 4 times a day.
Mark, are you?
Well, why is he? Why is
You're going to work and support the family if you're going to have sex
No,
3 or 4 times a day.
Kenny, why is it too much now? It wasn't before. Why is it too much now? Why is he changing his story? You know, when we were engaged.
Ask him. Why is it different?
Why is it too much now?
I don't know. I would like to have a lot more.
You're just
can't do it.
busy.
Right.
Yeah. What?
Well, obviously, I feel like you have a lot of free time on your hands. I'd like to know if you work, and because you're thinking about this an awful lot. Also, too, maybe the reason your husband ran down the hall screaming when you brought another woman home to him is because he obviously loves you and his heart belongs to you. And you ought to think about that the next time you decide to drag Tom, Dick, or Harry home. And, you have obviously...
Okay, let me come back.
No, honestly,
yeah.
yes, we work. We both have, pretty hectic and heavy jobs, but, we had the same jobs when we first met.
It's not interfering with you. You're still getting married and everything, right?
I love him to death with every inch
She
and
just
ounce
wants
of
more.
my
She's
soul.
really into me.
But you're
I'm
going to
just so
accept what
into
you'll
him.
accept.
Really into me, believe it or not.
I'm really into him.
I know. Let me move on and introduce you to Erica here, who says once a day is not enough. 10 times would be much better. 10 times a day. Now, come on.
Well, maybe not 10.
You're sexually active now. You're both what? 22?
I'm 18.
I'm sorry. You're 18, and Paul is 22.
That's correct.
You're 18 years old. You're engaged to be married, and you really are having sex pretty much once a day at this point.
Yeah, but it's not great sex. It's just sex. Jenny, wait.
Wait a minute, Cheryl doesn't seem quite so shocking anymore, does she, at 4 times a day? Makes Cheryl seem like a celibate here.
It's because when we first met, sex was like, he was the first guy that ever gave me an orgasm. And so I figured it was going to always be like that with him. And now it's not. It's 5 minutes and then he goes and watches TV and I'm just like laying there like, what? You know?
Yeah, what?
I was just wondering, for all the couples, is sex the only thing you have in common? Maybe that's why you want it so much.
That's part of the reason, because in order to me, I don't think that sex is why I'm with her, and that's not why I plan on being with her in the future. So for her to just want sex, and if it's 10 times a day, it gets to be where I start to feel that maybe we're only there for sex, and maybe that's all that she's thinking about. If we have to have it 10 times a day and we can't do other things or we can't go other places, then why does it have to be like that?
I think you said you can barely get through a meal.
Well,
What
yeah,
happens?
this is kind of upset me, because one time I knew she was coming home, so I took the time to make a dinner, candlelight and everything, and she comes in the door and sees the dinner on the table. It took her 2 seconds to get to the table and knock everything off and want to have sex on the table after I was ready. So sometimes I think that maybe she's not thinking that maybe I want to, just spend time with her, because I work a lot. I mean, I work graveyards, and she goes to work at 6 in the morning. So when I come home, it's like 20 minutes where I get to see her.
But this is really becoming a problem for you because you are avoiding going home sometimes.
She doesn't know this, but sometimes I tell her I'm working till 6 in the morning, but I get off at 2, but I go to the beach or I sleep in my car just so I can get some sleep.
Are you serious? Where are you sleeping?
I go to the beach. I put towels on, because I surf, so she thinks that
You work graveyard shift, and you're normally off, at 6 in the morning, right?
Well, yeah, but every once in a while they throw a 2-ish shift, and that's when I go and do the sleeping.
Yeah.
Ladies, especially Erica, do you consider yourself nymphomaniacs?
I don't mind. You call me that if you want to. I like that.
You wouldn't call your fiancée that, would you?
No, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say she's a nympho. I mean, it depends on how you terminate it. I don't think she's a nympho as far as 5 guys out in this audience and she just wants to be with them all. I think maybe she just enjoys a lot of sex.
With him.
Tell me when you couldn't get through a meal at the Olive Garden.
I took her out to dinner, and we had ordered meals, and we were going to have a romantic dinner, and we got to the appetizers, the little pizza thing, and as soon as we were done with the appetizers, it's, can we have to-go boxes so we can take off? She's telling me, I want to go home, I'm ready, let's go do our thing. So we took off from there, and we packed it up and went home.
Did you make it home?
Yeah, but he did it.
We didn't really make it home, halfway home.
He didn't complain then. He wasn't complaining then.
Yeah, what?
You're 18 and you're engaged to him and you don't know where he sleeps at night. And you like want to have sex with him
he
this
works
much?
graveyard, so he tells me
gets
he
off
works
early.
early.
I knew this
Right, but
I knew
he's
this was gonna
lying to
come up,
her
so-
already about where he's
No, let me tell
going
you,
at
I
night.
knew this was going to come up, and I knew everyone in the audience was going to say he's with another woman, but it has nothing to do with the fact I love this woman with all my heart. And there's not a woman in this audience that could take me away or do anything to do it. It's just that sometimes I need sleep and I need to be with her.
But when you do have sex now, Erica, you're saying it's not always great for you. Why isn't it always great? Is he distracted?
No, he put himself up way on a pedestal because when the first time we had sex, it was like the best sex I ever had. I mean, it drove me crazy, so I figured it was always going to be like that.
You
and
didn't
now,
just have anything happen now, did you? You kind of looked like... I mean, it was just... Did you see that? Flashback or something, I don't know.
She expects it to be, see, I don't know, sometimes like I tell people, if you have a gun and you shoot the shots out, you got to reload and it takes time. She's expecting me, to just perform right away and go for it. It takes a little bit.
That really, it does interfere with your life, though. You can't get through a meal at a restaurant.
No,
Tell us what happened when you went to the zoo, to the LA Zoo.
Well, there's an area at the LA Zoo where they have like the monkeys and stuff like that, and she decides when we're in the middle of the zoo that she's turned on and she's ready.
Oh, no, you decided.
No. She decided that it was pretty good time or place, and so we started to fool around at the zoo, and we're getting a little bit undone and stuff like that, and around the corner come some people, so we were kind of caught in a bad situation there.
No, this is what happened. We got really into it. His pants were down and everything. He pulled mine down too, set me up on top of this like little fence, and I was leaning up against this tree. And he says, "Oh, I can't do this," and he leaves me, and I'm sitting there with my pants down to here, and these people come around the corner, and I'm sitting there all by myself. I don't know where Paul is, and these people are just looking at me, and I'm doing.
Okay, but I think let's take a commercial break. That's more of a visual than I think we were counting on. But the one other little part that you don't know to this couple is that you guys live at home with your mother, Paul.
Yes, we do.
So she's hearing all this stuff going on in the house. We'll talk about that. And we're also going to come back and talk to Richard and see if he got turned on when Debbie turned herself into a human Sunday. We'll be right back.
It's 312-836-9485.
If I always had to initiate sex, I would probably be really bummed out because it would get really boring.
I would feel that he was probably getting it from somewhere else.
I'd have to find another partner.
We're back. We've been talking to Erica and Paul and learning really more than we anticipated, but it's about their uneven sex drive. And actually, Erica says she would prefer to have sex 10 times a day. And even now, once a day is a lot more than most of us, but it's not quite enough. And apparently you can't get through a lot of functions. You got distracted at the restaurant, you got distracted at the LA Zoo, and you had a comment about the zoo. What do you want to say?
Yes,
Stand up, please.
I have a comment to Erica and Paul. I'm a mother of 2 adult children, and I think you acted more like animals than the animals in the zoo.
You never did anything crazy in your life like that when you were 18? She's only 18. You didn't.
Now let me respond to that. When you were 18, or I don't know how old you are, not to get into that, but however back then, it's a lot different now, okay? And people mature. I mean, it's just she's a mature 18-year-old. She does handle her business. She's a very responsible woman, and I love her deeply. So if I love her, I don't care what Tom, Joe, and Jerry or whatever in the audience thinks. This is my fiance. I'm going to marry her, and you guys can think what you want, but you must respect her as a woman and as my fiance.
But also, it was a mutual a choice that you made to do that.
Yes,
but you get distracted. But she says you're watching movies, Bruce Lee movies,
Okay.
and you won't even pay attention to her.
I'm really into the martial arts, and I like to watch a lot, and I like to work out that way, but she doesn't want me to do that, so I brought something I kind of wanted to show you. In the middle of my movies, she decides that she's going to come out naked and start swinging chucks around and dancing so that I will watch her instead of Bruce. And she'll imitate everything on the TV, and she starts swinging them and starts making all the noises.
These are what you call nunchucks.
Yeah, these are just practice ones.
What do you do with them? Can you show us what you do?
Oh, sure.
Wait a minute. Is this a dance thing? Can we have music? Wait, we'll get you some.
It's not that she
do
doesn't.
what you gotta do, right? If he's watching Bruce Lee.
Well, it's not that she doesn't turn me on. It's just that I don't know. Sometimes I want to relax because I'm work and stuff.
Sure. What's your question?
I have a comment.
Oh yeah.
I would like to say to all the guys that these women or wives or fiance, I think it's just pathetic that you just let these women go on like this and you're not giving them enough. You are men and you're supposed to do your job, okay? These women, they're going all the way outdoors. It's some men that don't have wives that does that. But you guys, there's some guys out here that envy you guys. You have women that's doing...
Do you envy these guys?
No, because I had one that's just like that. But there's some guys that envy you. I have friends of mine, they wish that, you know, the lady that I have that does that, stuff like that. So you guys should be appreciative and marry this woman, because when you marry this woman, you're going to have to do it all the time. That's part of marriage, you know?
Okay, thank you for that. That's just cool. Let me introduce you now to Debbie, who says she needs to be creative to get her fiancé Richard in the mood. Can you tell us what you mean by that?
Well, anything and everything. I have all my toys. I've got my lotions, my butters, and I turned myself into a sundae once, actually.
Can you tell us about you became a human sundae?
I became a human sundae. He likes to eat. So I had the whipped cream. I had nuts, I had syrup, I had cherries, and I made the sundae and he ate it. But
so it did work.
It did work.
It did work.
It works.
You're engaged to be married. Can you tell us what your complaint is about your sex life now?
There's not enough. Once every 10 days is not enough. And me initiating it all the time is not enough.
Were these things a part of the sundae?
No, these are just other things that I get. I get lots of things. I have these on when he comes home from work with the nylons and.
Wait a minute. Show me that again. Show me that first thing again.
I have this.
Richard, you come home from work and she's wearing this?
With the garter and the nylons.
Richard!
Well, I get turned on. That's not the problem. It's just that when I get home from work, I'm tired.
Would you be tired? I mean, 10 minutes. I mean, anything.
You actually, Debbie, keep a calendar, right?
Yes.
Can I have that calendar, please, Ed? I need somebody to help. I have to show you the calendar that I gave you right there. I have to show you. I need somebody to help me hold it. Would you help me hold this thing? Okay, get a shot of this. You keep a calendar. What are you keeping on this calendar?
The green hearts are just the times that he would initiate.
Okay, so here we have wow, and a green heart. January was 3.
That was 3 for the month.
Here's February, a wow here.
1.
And don't forget here on Valentine's. March, a heart and a heart. Twice in March, he initiated.
But twice, I mean.
April, you got a wow, and you got a left me hanging right here on this one. Now, the other thing, I looked through your little calendar. Now, we are taping this is Labor Day weekend now that we're taping, and here we are, September Labor Day. Elevator, Chicago.
Yeah. But he just did that to look good for the show. I mean, otherwise, it wouldn't have happened.
So you were successful here at the hotel.
Yes, 3 o'clock. Yes, twice.
Let me take a break, and we're going to come back and talk to Heather and Scott, who every 4 days is not enough. You would like to do it twice a day. We'll be right back. Advice for our women here today?
Yeah, have you ladies ever thought about when the men come home and say they're tired? Wait until they get ready to go top in the shower or the tub. Get in there with them.
Yeah.
Have bubble baths, ask them to come in. Do like they do on the television. Pull them in with you.
It doesn't work.
I think you've tried pretty much everything, right? I mean, you've been to the Human Sunday, you've got the lotions and everything. Now we have Heather and Scott, who are newlyweds, and she says she does it 4 minutes a week. That's 2 minutes at a time, twice a week. What is that? What?
That's worse than me.
We sometimes have sex about twice a week. It's usually twice a week.
Okay.
When we start having sex, we don't usually finish. We just both, he's tired and he wants to stop, so we stop. So it's like after 2 minutes, he's tired, he stops. Next time we do it, you know, a couple days later, it's 2 more minutes, then he stops.
Well, I don't know where she gets these numbers. It kind of fluctuates. I mean, I don't see her carrying a stopwatch or anything in the bed with her, but it goes up and down. You know, sex is such an unusual thing. You can't explain it, and
well, yeah,
I don't know. It's just hard. It goes up and down.
There are other ways to do it, but I mean, you know.
We don't do it often enough. I would like to do it. I mean, I like to do it at nighttime. He likes to do it in the morning time, but we never have the same schedule.
Was your honeymoon great?
We didn't have sex on our honeymoon.
Why?
We ended up fighting on our honeymoon. He wanted to keep some old memorabilia of an old girlfriend of his, and he was comparing our chests. So we ended up fighting and not sleeping together on our honeymoon.
You don't compare her to your old girlfriend, do you?
Not anymore, no.
Oh, no. But do you feel like he's attracted to a different type than you? Is that what it is?
When we met, he said I was exactly like, he was attracted to me, you know, hair color and stuff. But he definitely, I catch him always looking at the big chested.
Give me like a famous person he's attracted to, like
Anna Nicole Smith.
Okay.
I'd like to say she is very attractive. I know I love her dearly, both for her looks and you know, for her personality and everything. And I mean, there are times when I've told her I've expressed, you know, an attraction, not necessarily an attraction, but that I would find another woman attractive. And, you know, it doesn't mean I want to sleep with her. You know,
but you're not convincing her that she's the only one you find attractive. Is that it?
No.
He wants a woman with boobs so big it's unreal. And I can't believe I said, if you want the fake, you know, thing, go for it. But I mean, I'm just me. I'm just natural.
She is fine. I think her chest is great.
I'd like to know that if he has compared you to some of his other girlfriends, maybe you should compare him to some of your previous boyfriends.
No,
I haven't. And is it a disappointment to you as well?
I never have.
She went so far one night. She asked me to go turn on her curling iron because she wanted to go out and she said she wanted to get a real man. So
that's the same thing.
Ooh, yeah. You've never actually. I mean, have you really threatened to go somewhere else for sex?
Sometimes I get so mad about the situation that he's always tired. 24 hours a day, he's tired. He says, "Well, let's do it in the morning, right?" No, in the morning he's, you know, off and going. He's too tired. So I've said, you know, times when I've been so mad at nighttime, I'll say, you know, if you're not going to put out, somebody else is.
You wouldn't really do that,
No.
though. You wouldn't do it. No. 1 second, yeah.
Aren't these men afraid that these women will do that? I mean, you're leaving them frustrated and they're asking you and begging you, basically.
What do you do when you're frustrated? How do you deal with it?
I get up and scrub my kitchen floors till early in the morning.
Yeah.
I, you know, just scrub, just thinking how mad I am. I leave the house.
Yeah. What'd you want to say, Paul?
Well, I was just going to say, if they leave us, then bye. I mean, if that's all they want from me is sex, and if they're gonna leave because if she leaves because I don't give her enough sex, then do you think I'm gonna marry her? The reason we're getting married is because we click together as a couple.
Well, why don't you try and meet her halfway then, instead of just sitting here saying no?
Oh, it's not that I say no. It's not that I say no. No, believe me, she turns me on. She can do her thing, but it's not that I say no. It's just
what are you doing, Tracy, to try to turn him on? Give us a couple of examples.
What do I do to try to turn him on?
Do you use marital aids? You like pictures, movies, anything like that?
No. The only thing that we use is this lotion, which she did not like after the first time. So
but look how, I mean, obviously we had to use a lot.
We had to use a lot. One time.
You did. Haven't you tried an erotic movie though?
No.
You didn't.
She doesn't. We don't.
I put this on for him, and nothing.
This is our first.
Did you find any video that he taped of something that maybe surprised you?
There was a tape of an old tape when we first got together. He made a tape for me of him overseas, because we were dating, but we were living, he was overseas, I was in the United States. And that was like the most important thing to me. It was memorabilia. It was like the only thing I could remember of him. And he said, oh, please let me borrow it, you know, and I just would like to watch it. I come home, put the tape in, because I want to see my husband, you know, a couple years back. He recorded over my tape stripping women over my tape.
It was not a porno type thing. It was a real sex HBO series on
says that
on
it's
sex.
a lie.
So it was like educational. It was very educational.
Cheap women stripping. It was so disgusting. These women looked like whores. And he's trying to tell me it was an educational video.
Did you learn anything from that? Because you've kind of like tried a couple of little unusual things. You kind of tied. Can you tie his eyes? Close his, you know, cover his eyes?
Well, we talked about fantasies, and you know, we talked about it so much and how all these things that we wanted to do. And
would you do anything for him?
It never happened. Would I do anything,
would you do anything
sexually?
Yeah.
Oh, anything. I would do anything.
She's very supportive. She's great at
anything.
bed. She really is. She'll do anything.
I mean, we tried everything, but it only happened once, and now we don't do it again.
And it goes back and forth. Some days we'll have sex 3 times in a row. It just depends. If I'm not working that day, then hey, I'm 3-4 times a day. It's fine with me.
Have you ever been with a woman this long? I thought maybe that was sort of the problem, that you're not used to being with just one woman.
Well, you know, I had never been with any woman. I had had girlfriends in the past, but it was never for a long period of time. And so I think it was kind of scary and almost overwhelming to a point when I first got married, thinking this is the woman I'm going to be with for the rest of my life. But
you're still going to survive. The relationship's going to survive.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. I love
Let's take a break and we'll talk to Tim, who we're told also didn't have sex on his honeymoon. We'll find out why in just a moment.
If she wanted more sex, I just give her more sex.
You got to keep your women happy to keep them.
Yep, that's for sure. If you don't do your homework, man, they'll leave.
Bring your wife over to my house.
We're back, and we're talking to Heather and Scott, who have an uneven sex drive. Heather would like to have it more often, but I have a feeling it's maybe a little bit more than that, because you said on your honeymoon you didn't have sex because he was comparing you to his old girlfriend, and she was big busted, and you know. And did he tell you anything about her? Did you know how their sex life was?
They had sex every night. Every single night.
Well, I can see how that would bother you if he's not doing it every night with you, and he's compared you to her. You've got to feel very insecure about it.
I don't feel insecure about her because I think she's trash. I've seen her.
What?
All I was going to say to the two of you is that I think that there are other problems in your relationship that cause a manifestation of what's going on in your bedroom. And also, too, this 2 minutes and then you quit. I mean, if you're going to go to the drive-thru, you might as well pick up your hamburger at the window when you're finished.
Than 2 minutes. I mean, sometimes, you know, guys, you hear the expression 2-minute man, and sometimes I guess I am one, but a lot of times, hey, I can go for a half hour, maybe an hour. It just depends on my mood, her mood, and how, turned on I am at the time.
You've tried, Heather, push-up bra. You've tried the sexy teddies. You've tried lotions. You've even considered having implants to satisfy him?
I've thought about it.
You wouldn't really do that. Well,
I don't support that at all. I think, her figure is very attractive to me, and she's beautiful.
I have a comment for Erica and
Erica and Paul. Yeah,
Cheryl, the two girls here on the end. Most women that I know of or that I've talked with have several orgasms at one time. Why do you have to have?
Wait a minute. Most women have several orgasms at one time?
Yeah.
Could we raise our hands, please? Huh? We got a few hands?
Yeah.
Well, can we?
And I don't understand why they have to have it 10 times a day whenever you can get it at one time.
You should be getting, rather than spreading them.
I already do that. And I think that's part of the reason why I want more sex from him. It's because he totally turns me on. I've never had sex this good ever before in my life, and I
ask her
want
for
more.
a number how many times, and she won't give me numbers.
I get the sense that some of you feel insecure about how he feels about you because, Heather, you said you would do anything for him. What's his fantasy?
I think mostly his fantasy is either to have sex with 2 people or to have me have sex with a woman.
See, I've told her, she's even told me she would do that for me. I said, no, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that
No,
because...
I never have said it.
First of all, is that something that you would want to do, Heather, that you would enjoy
Me with
doing?
a woman?
Yeah.
She never said she'd do that. But...
So you wouldn't ever, you absolutely shouldn't do.
I told him I would never have sex with a woman, but if it got that bad where I wasn't enough, I would let somebody else come into the bedroom, as long as we didn't have to touch.
You never would. You never would.
No, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. I love her, and I think that would be weird.
Can't you guys like compromise maybe? Like, you know, so you both can be happy?
I have a feeling the guys are doing it just about as much as they can. Am I right?
Yes.
You have to figure if he
Supposed
rolled
to
over.
disagree with the host.
If he rolled over, he's tired. If he rolled over and fell asleep, he's really tired. That means he just
That means he's
can't
doing
go.
everything he can. Yeah. Go ahead.
What I want to know is, when you get married, aren't you planning to have kids and things like that? If the women are satisfied now, then when the kids come, I mean, what are they going to do then? Man, you should be taking care of business. If not, then more likely they're going to take care of business somewhere else.
Yeah. I don't think so. No. I think these are solid
We have a
relationships.
son. That's part of the reason for, sometimes we'll be going and he'll interrupt, so what do you do?
You have a baby.
Yes, we do. We have a son.
We'll take a break and come back and talk to Tracy and Tim. Now, according to my notes here, it says they used to have sex 4 times during football season during halftime, and now you watch the whole game, including halftime. So things have changed. We'll be right back.